Well, hi there, everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Kleneski here as we start off your Wednesday morning. And kind of interesting because as I look at this future cast, I get things underway here at 7 o'clock this morning. Really, you see a boundary about right here. It's actually farther south than that in real life. Now, this is a forecast model. I would say that boundary is actually about right here. So anywhere south of that boundary still has a south wind, and we'll see southerly winds today, but north of it more of a northerly wind. And in fact, our wind speeds will kind of help tell you where that's at right now. You look at the wind speeds. Again, it's not in a good spot here. Basically, your divide is more right here. But again, north of that boundary, more of a northerly wind that's about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Very strong south winds down in northern Kansas, see around Concordia, Kansas there. Well, as we go through our day today, that south wind is going to pick up speed and push that boundary back to the north as a warm front and move it back into northern Nebraska and maybe southern South Dakota late today. So that boundary will be sitting farther north, say up here in the this area right here. That, and there will be a trailing cold front as well. And there's an area of low pressure right there. So anyway, that is going to be the focal point for new thunderstorms to develop later today. This is noon hour here. The other thing I want to mention, though, even in the warm sector, there are many forecast models hinting at a stray shower thunderstorm moving through the Tri-Cities right around the middle part of the day. It's not a great chance, but can't completely rule this out. So really any of these areas right in here have a chance of maybe seeing a stray shower thunderstorm around midday. Most of us, though, will see quiet conditions for the much of the day today. As we head into the afternoon hours, that front continues to move northward. Everybody dealing with some strong southerly winds, warm temperatures, except for the far northern part of the state and then way out west as well. So by the end of the day, here's our front. That's a warm front right there. Warm front. And then we'll have a cold front trailing right here. I'll draw that cold front real quick. I don't have the colors, but you can at least get an idea of where that. And there's actually going to be a bit of a dry line here as well, and that's kind of your triple point right here. So an area of low pressure. So basically, that's where our developing thunder showers and thunderstorms are going to be late this afternoon into this evening. Now, initially, as these storms develop, possibly some supercells will be possible. We're looking at the threat of some very large hail out west, maybe a few isolated tornadoes not out of the question. Now, as these advance eastward later into the nighttime hours, they'll become more of a damaging wind gust threat as they start to kind of bow out into more of a line of storms here. So you'll kind of be looking at more of a damaging wind gust threat. Farther north you go, the better your threat is going to be, the better your chance is going to be. Likely for the Tri-Cities, we stay dry prior to midnight. Slim chance of rain. After midnight, though, those push eastward into our area. Maybe closer to 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They should weaken as they move eastward, but it's not out of the question. We still get severe weather even in the Tri-Cities area, but those will continue to weaken as they push eastward. And then by tomorrow morning, around sunrise or just before sunrise, that shower and thunderstorm activity should be to our east. We're going to be seeing that cold front move through about that time. Behind that front, clearing skies through the day. Breezy west and then northwest winds and cooler temperatures expected for your Thursday. So let's go back to that severe weather threat, and this will be updated here in about an hour. The Storm Prediction Center has an enhanced risk of severe weather out west, western portions of Nebraska. That's where your highest chance of severe weather is. But even where that slight risk area is, we're going to have to watch for that threat of severe thunderstorms. Marginal threat area, yeah, there's still a chance, just not as good of a chance farther to the southeast here. Again, initially out west, more of a wind and hail threat. In these areas right here, or excuse me, a hail threat, maybe some winds, and even an isolated tornado is possible, and then becoming more of a damaging wind gust threat farther to the east. Still some hail possible, but more of a wind threat than anything. Well, as we look at Husker Harvest Day's forecast, like I talked about earlier, middle part of the day, there's that slimmest of chances of rain and isolated thunderstorms around the middle part of the day. Otherwise, most of the day, quiet, warm, windy day out there today. Those wind speeds increasing as that south wind picks up during the day today, and we'll push those temperatures into the upper 80s. Most of us will see mid and upper 80s and lower 90s for highs today. You see that cooler air up north, that boundary not making its way all the way north, so it will be a little cooler north of that boundary. And then a cold front swinging through tonight, that'll bring temperatures down into the 60s, some 50s out west, maybe still some 70s out ahead of it in eastern Nebraska tomorrow morning, and then highs tomorrow, a much cooler day, 70s. Near 80 in southeast Nebraska, northern Kansas, mid-70s around the Tri-Cities, and maybe not even making it to 70 up there in northwest portions of the state. So a much cooler day ahead of us. Still a little bit breezy out there. Those west and northwest winds, in my mind, probably one of the most comfortable days of the forecast. If you don't mind a little bit of wind. Now, as we get towards then tomorrow night, that's our coolest night of the forecast. We're going to drop back into the 50s, maybe even some 40s out west. That cool air settling in as winds die back for Thursday night into Friday morning. Friday, good recovery as we warm back up to around upper 70s and lower 80s. So really a pretty nice day ahead of us for your Fridays. We start to warm things up. That heat, it's going to build back in beyond Friday here. It looks like we're going to see temperatures well above average. Keep in mind, our average high is now about 79 degrees, so we're going to be above that almost every day of the forecast, minus 1 or 2 days there. Again, beyond the 3-day forecast, we're right back into the mid and upper 80s, and I think 90s are certainly possible Sunday through Tuesday. There's one small chance of rain and thunderstorms late Friday night. This favors areas to the southeast and east of the Tri-Cities. It's not a very good chance for the Tri-Cities area, but I did want to throw it in the forecast as a just in case. But more than likely, much of this long-range forecast will stay dry through Tuesday, and again, above average for the most part. As we kind of look down the road here towards the rest of that long-range forecast the next 10 days or so, there are signs that maybe towards the end of next week we'll start to see a bigger cool down come back into play here. But I feel like I've been saying that for several days now. But there are signs towards the 20th or so we start to cool down. In fact, some long-range models around the 23rd to 25th, somewhere in there, have our coldest air of the season coming in, as we may start to see those lows dip back into the 40s and maybe 30s. So the end of the month maybe starting to feel a little more like fall as we transition into the fall season. But until then, the end of summer, certainly going to try to hold on as much as possible. All right, with that, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you all for watching this morning. I do appreciate it. We'll see you all again on your Thursday morning. Take care. Enjoy your Wednesday. God bless. Bye.